Day 13. I just got out of the tub, so I wanted to jump on here quickly and document today. How was today? Today was better, but it was better because I just only ate liquids. I had a little bit of jello, but that was it. I didn't eat any meat, any fish, really nothing hard today, nothing solid, unless you call the jello something solid. But I didn't eat anything that needed chewing, and I feel better. The heartburn and the bloating went through the night. I barely slept again last night, and it went through some of this morning. But by, I'd say, mid-morning, by lunchtime ish, I was finally feeling better. But I still stayed on liquids. I had chicken broth and water, juices, the protein juice, and tea. Sorry, eyelash in my eye. I feel like the truth of the matter is this is the way that the weight's gonna come off, is eating like that. I haven't yet broken the bad habits. So I haven't, so I can't trust myself, basically. I can't trust myself with regular food. And what happens after I eat regular food, I eat meat or bigger portions or fish or whatever, it's just a cycle of pain. It's like Dante's like 7 layers of hell, or however many they are. For this, it's basically 3 layers. It starts with hella bloating, insane bloating, where it just feels like you just fill up like a balloon, and it then kicks in pretty strong heartburn, depending on like how much I've eaten, I guess. The heartburn can kick in, and it can be strong discomfort, or it can go to like a stabbing pain. It feels like it's stabbing under your breast, right in your chest. And then I took something to deal with the gas, the bloating that tries to release the gas. And then suddenly, like, the gas is coming and it's coming up out of you. And so these giant belches are erupting out of you. That goes on for hours. But every time you release gas, it's like it builds up again almost just as fast. And so that just is like a weird cycle for hours. And then and then you're like this writhing in pain from that lasts for hours. And then you slip somehow into like the stomach finally flattens down, but then the like elimination begins and the runs start, and that goes on for hours. So I don't, that's what it is. It's not worth it. And I don't know. I got to remind myself of that every time I'm looking for something delicious to eat that's with meat in it. Just avoid that. I do have a long history of being vegetarian, so it's not going to be hard for me to go back to that. But yeah, it was an adjustment. Today, I was nervous about eating anything that was even solid. So there's like this weird fear taking over now, that I worry that I'm not going to, I worry that I just need to be on mushy foods for the next few weeks. That's kind of my plan, to be really honest, to eat mushy foods and just liquids. So back on the hummus, a little bit of yogurt if I can, super, super mushy vegetables. So I'm going to be boiling the hell out of the broccoli again. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, I bought eggs, so I'm going to try to eat scrambled eggs tomorrow. I have some family coming to visit, so we'll probably make a big breakfast. And so I'll try to eat the scrambled eggs there and see how that goes. Have kind of a lot on my agenda, social agenda this weekend. So, now knowing the schedule of what happens to me after I eat animal proteins, I'm worried about eating scrambled eggs, because I can't really afford 18 hours of, downtime and pain and not being able to kind of get out of the house and be comfortable. I would have to cancel some things that are kind of important to me this weekend. So I don't know. That's where I'm at right now. restriction. One thing I did want to say, this is day 13. I sort of purposely have only told 3 people in my life. One is a very, very good friend at work who I, hang out with on a personal level. We know each other quite well, and I kind of told her what was going on. So it was good to have one person at work who knows what's going on. And I trust her implicitly that she won't blab it all over. My partner, of course, because I wouldn't keep this from him. And he's a great help to me because he cares about my emotional help. And so he knows I can kind of freak out over some things. And so he is that calming force, that reminder of the good, that grounding element for me. And he's just someone who cares. It's nice to know that someone cares, mentally how I'm doing, or just emotionally how it's going for me. Because usually people are like, how you feel? And they're talking about like pain. But he checks in and gets what the vibe is and can help me even that out. So like the other day when I was freaking out, yesterday actually, when I was freaking out and feeling bad about myself for the things I had eaten, and he really was like, it's 2 weeks, it's barely 2 weeks in, relax, you're figuring this out, and that's okay. And just, he said all the right things. And my mom who came with me when I got the procedure done, and who's also very supportive. But she's a mom, so she's checking in like, how's my baby? I didn't hear from you. Everything okay? You okay? I'm coming to see you. I'm coming to see like, so sometimes her energy is a little nervous, but it's also nice to know someone's checking on me. Now, the reason I'm saying this is that I've been going to work. Today I didn't, but the last couple of days I have gone to work. And so I've had these symptoms happening to me at work. I had never had heartburn before, and certainly not as severe as is happening now. I sit in an open kind of workspace in an office. So we're all kind of, 10 inches away from each other. So sit kind of like a bunch of people around me. The person directly next to me apparently has suffered heartburn for 15 years. Like, she's like long since had it. But because she sees me going through it all day, she's like offering me stuff and tips and saying, take my medication, this works. And because she sat next to me for a while now, she's like, I've never seen this on you before. Did something happen? So she's asking a lot of questions. And sometimes I wonder, like, well, should I just say it? Like, why is it a secret? Should I just say it? But I really want to keep this to myself. And I want to keep this to myself not because, like some people say, I want to avoid people saying that I took the easy route. It's not that. I want to keep this to myself because the thing that happens when somebody is taking a drastic step like this for their weight, what's the first thing you want to know every time you see them? What's the first thing? It's the same first thing I wanted to know when I was looking for videos to learn about this, when I was looking through social media accounts to see other people's experience. The first thing you want to know is, how much are you losing? How much did you lose? How much? What do you look like now? What did you lose? What's the weight loss? And I didn't want a bunch of people commenting on my weight, whether it was verbally or just like me sensing their energy, like me walking by them being like, she ain't really lost that much weight, or like, oh, it's really coming off, or like, looks like it's creeping back on. I don't want to have to deal with that. I'm one of these people that's like hyper aware, maybe too much aware, which is why my partner is good for me, grounding and like giving me perspective on stuff. But I can spiral a lot, wondering what people think, thinking I know what people think. And that can take over. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to let other people too much into this for me. I'm happy to talk about it with people at the end because I'm not ashamed or embarrassed at all to have done this. What I want is for people to not feel, I don't want to give people a reason to comment and check my weight every day. That's a level of pressure and also attention that I don't want. For example, particularly now when it's sort of disappointing, no real weight loss is happening. Like why would I want, to have to explain that to people or justify or answer? And then, when every time I go in the kitchen at work to get something to eat, or is someone going to be watching me and being like, oh, what kind of choice does she make? I don't need all that. So So that's the reason why I'm not telling other people. And I'm thinking about telling other friends that I don't see every day. I'm thinking about it. But this kind of thing, word spreads fast. So I know if I tell one friend, that group of friends is going to know. And I'm not saying, in a bad way. That's how I would do the same thing probably. But that's how people work. And I don't know necessarily that this is something that I want to share. As a standard piece of conversation every time I'm around folks. So I kind of want to leave that. I kind of want to leave it alone. And so that's my reason for not saying something. Again, this is day 13. Maybe that'll change somewhere in the 6-month process of having this balloon. I don't know. But right now, this feels like my business. I also just shamefully, why say something now when you can't see the result? Again, because people want to see what's the result. And it better be good. I don't want to be disappointing to anyone or to myself. I don't want to add that pressure to myself. So maybe it's the coward's move. I don't know. Maybe it's maybe there's judgment and shame in keeping this to myself right now. I'm not going to judge myself too much over it though. It's my choice, and I have the prerogative to make that choice, and it's it's really not for anyone to judge whether I do or don't say anything to anybody. I feel very good though, I will say, about the people I have told it to. My colleague who's at work she has not asked me a ton of questions, and she actually knows someone who went through this process, and she worked with that person. So she has seen this like on a day-to-day. So I was worried, is she going to be like comparing me to her friend who did lose a ton of weight? Am I going to be like the failure in her eyes if I don't? She's not that kind of person. And so I'm thankful that I don't have to, it isn't a topic of conversation every day. And in fact, when she saw me experiencing some of the signals, I realized that she sort of, the reaction, she's like, oh my God, I hope you're okay. And I realized, she'd actually forgotten about my balloon, which was good. That was good. I said why I'm glad I told my partner, and even my mom. I said why I'm glad I told my mom. So I think those are the right people around me right now to know what I'm going through and why I'm going through something. But it is weird to have this very strong medical thing happening to your body and to not be able to explain it, because now I realize how nosy people are. People are like, oh, you never had this before. What are you taking? When did this start? Like, did something happen? Did something happen to like cause this? Like, how did this just come all of a sudden? Like, what did you eat? Like all of this stuff where I'm just kind of like, it's okay. I got it. I'm fine. I'll be fine in a minute. Just give me a couple minutes. So anyway, that's it. That's all I have today. There's no other update. I feel better now, and I don't feel hungry because I have a lot of fluid in me, but I do feel like a swishy water balloon, like too much liquid. It's just taking its time to get past the balloon, but I do feel swishy. But it's okay. It's better than feeling bloated, and I know when I wake up tomorrow, I'm gonna feel good, and that's how I felt like around day, I guess 5-ish, 4 or 5-ish, whatever. This was the way. Like, I'd go to bed feeling like I had a lot of fluids in me, but I'd wake up and I felt good. No more fish and meat for the next several weeks, or maybe ever, while I have this balloon. That's it. Bye. Now I'm going to bed. Finish drying my hair, and then I'm going to bed. Bye.